All right, let's dive into one of the most terrifying characters out there.
Oh, yeah.
Judge Holden from Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian.
Yeah.
And we've got, like, excerpts from the novel itself, a Reddit discussion that we pulled up, and even a Wikipedia entry.
Wow.
So, have you ever encountered a character who just seems to embody pure evil?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons that we're talking about the judge today. I mean, he's such a fascinating character because he exists in this world of just ultra-violence, the American West.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like a different planet.
Well, and even in that context of the gang and all this violence,
Right.
he stands out.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you think about the scene early on where he just casually murders the Express son.
Oh, yeah.
There's no motive, really.
No provocation.
Just kind of like an afterthought.
Right. And
But it's not even the worst of it.
And then later on, he tosses a sack of puppies
Oh, yeah.
off a bridge.
Just for fun.
Yeah, just for
For
fun.
his own amusement, it seems like.
It's like, McCarthy wants us to just be horrified.
Yeah.
Those scenes are so hard to read.
I think it's that casualness of it.
Yeah.
Like just the utter lack of empathy.
It's like he enjoys it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's more than just like a ruthless killer.
Yeah.
Or just survival.
Right.
Like he's getting off on this.
So what is it? What is that?
It seems almost demonic, right?
Yeah.
Like there's something else driving him.
So it's not just ruthlessness.
No.
It's something else.
Like I said, he's orchestrating it.
Okay.
He's manipulating people.
Like the horse scene.
Oh,
When he gets them to slaughter their own horses.
yeah, it's like psychological torture.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder, you know, what does a character like this represent?
That's what I was going to ask.
You can't just be a sadist.
All right.
I mean, McCarthy's a good writer. There's got to be something deeper here.
Right.
And there's this really interesting theory in this Reddit thread
Okay.
that he embodies the dark side of manifest destiny.
Like that whole...
Westward expansion.
Yeah.
Our God-given right to just take what we want
At any cost.
at any cost. And he represents that unchecked ambition,
That's interesting.
the justification of violence for progress.
Yeah. And that scene, too, where he's looking over the volcanic landscape
Oh, yeah.
and he says, "This is my claim, and nothing must be permitted to occur on it except by my dispensation."
Yeah, he's like the ultimate authority.
Thinks he's God or something.
Yeah, like over the land, over human life.
So this is all tied to the land.
Very much so, yeah.
And I noticed in the Wikipedia article, they were trying to connect him to some real figures.
Right, like John Glanton.
Yeah, the scalp hunter.
These guys operating outside the law,
Yeah.
driven by greed, lust for violence.
So how much of this is rooted in history?
Right.
That's the
It
question.
makes him even more terrifying.
It's like McCarthy is saying that this evil is real.
Yeah.
It's not just fictional.
Not just in a book.
Part of us.
It's part of our history. And, you know, it makes you wonder.
It does.
Does the judge remind you of any, like, figures or forces in our world today?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'll let you think about that one for a minute. But,
I think before we get there,
okay.
we need to talk about his twisted philosophy.
Yeah. He's got this whole worldview that justifies the brutality.
He's not just a man of action.
Right, exactly.
He's got this whole ideology.
He believes war is like the ultimate expression of human will.
The truest form of divination.
Yeah, like violence reveals your true character.
That's messed up.
It is a terrifying thought.
Yeah, it is.
Basically saying morality doesn't matter.
His power.
Yeah, just power.
And he said that thing about the birds, you know?
Oh,
The
yeah.
freedom of birds was an insult to him.
He wants total control.
Yeah, nothing outside of his knowledge or consent.
Like the birds should have asked him if they could fly.
Right.
It's crazy. And he even manipulates language and logic to serve his ends.
Oh, absolutely what I mean.
Like in that speech to the harness maker,
The poor harness maker.
just trying to survive.
Take some charity.
And the judge uses this like twisted logic about self-reliance
Yeah.
to berate him and then murder him.
To justify murdering him.
Yeah, he can twist anything to fit his worldview.
It's like he's got all these arguments
Oh, yeah.
that he can just pull out
It's
to justify whatever he wants.
he's scary because he's smart.
Okay, wow, this is heavy.
Yeah.
I kind of want to shift gears a little bit.
Sure.
So before we get too bogged down in all this,
Okay.
let's talk about the judge and the kid.
Oh, yeah.
Their relationship.
That dynamic is fascinating.
Yeah, I think it'll give us some clues
Yeah.
about what the judge ultimately represents.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
Let's do it. It's like the kid is this like innocent, caught in this web of violence.
yeah, he's like this young almost feral character.
Yeah.
But he's got like a glimmer of a conscience.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he has some sense of right and wrong that the judge just doesn't.
Yeah, completely lacks.
And the judge even says to him
Yeah.
that he's not a free agent,
Right.
that his fate's already determined.
It's like he's a test subject
Right, yeah.
for the judge's philosophy.
For his worldview,
Yeah.
that violence is inevitable.
And that scene where the judge is imprisoned
Oh, yeah.
and tells the kid that he spoke to him in the desert and offered him a chance to join his dark vision.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a battle for the kid's soul.
Like, will he give in to the darkness?
Right.
Or will he resist?
And he rejects him.
Right.
And I think that's what gets him killed.
Yeah, the judge can't tolerate any challenge to his authority.
Like he sees himself as God.
Yeah, deciding who lives and who dies.
And it's all taking place in this desolate landscape.
Like a desert.
Yeah, the desert.
It's not just a backdrop, right?
No, it's like a character.
Yeah, it reflects the emptiness of the judge's soul.
And all that stuff about the bones, too.
Oh, yeah!
The fossils.
He's obsessed with them.
He's collecting them, classifying them.
Like, he's trying to make sense of the world through death and destruction.
It's like a dark reflection of what we do.
What do you mean?
Like, we're all fascinated by the past.
Right.
We want to understand it.
Yeah,
But what do we do with that knowledge?
that's the difference.
Yeah.
The judge uses knowledge as a weapon
Yeah.
to control people, but we can use it to build and create.
But there's also that supernatural element to the judge.
Yeah, that's one of the creepiest parts.
Right.
He's like a demon.
Like that coin trick
Oh, yeah, where he makes the coin disappear.
behind the kid's ear.
It's like magic.
But it's so unsettling.
And he seems to predict events.
Like he can see the future.
And he always escapes harm.
Walks through gunfire.
Like he's invincible.
Like he's not human.
Right. Is he even human?
Yeah, what is he?
McCarthy leaves it open to interpretation.
So he's a product of his time,
The dark side of American history.
but also something timeless.
The potential for evil in all of us.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's a complex character.
And that's why we're still talking about it.
Yeah, he fascinates and disturbs us.
It's like he's a warning.
That the darkness is always there,
Yeah, lurking.
waiting for a chance to come out.
Okay, wow.
Heavy though.
Stuff. Yeah, I think we need a minute to process all this.
Yeah, let's take a breath.
It's weird, but even after everything we've talked about,
Yeah.
there's something about the judge that's kind of captivating.
Oh, totally. I know what you mean.
Like,
He's magnetic.
yeah, and I think
He's
it's
just so smart.
Yeah.
You know, he's a monster, but a brilliant one.
right.
Constantly learning, observing, and using it all to manipulate everyone.
And his sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
So dark.
Twisted. Like when he gives that kid the coin for the puppies.
And then just tosses them off a bridge.
Ugh, it's awful.
But it's like a joke to him.
It is. It's a sick joke.
Yeah.
But it shows how little he values life.
And then that ending,
Oh, my God.
the dancing
After
outhouse.
he kills the kid. Yeah, what do you make of that?
I don't know. It's so ambiguous.
It's like one of the most debated endings ever.
Some people say it's his triumph.
Yeah, like evil wins.
Right. But others say it's more like.
Like a cosmic dance.
Yeah.
A celebration of chaos.
So is McCarthy saying evil is just this powerful force?
I don't know. I think it's more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
Like there are moments of beauty in the book too.
Right, like with the kid.
Yeah, he's like this little glimmer of hope.
That maybe we can resist.
Yeah, resist the judge's worldview.
So it's about choices. We can choose darkness or we can choose something else.
Like the kid tries to choose something else.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't end well for him.
I think that's what we can take away from this whole thing.
Yeah.
That we have to confront the darkness.
But there's also hope.
Yeah.
And even in this crazy world,
We can still choose to make a difference.
absolutely.
Well, that was intense.
Yeah, Judge Holden really gets under your skin.
He does, but I think we learned a lot. So until next time, keep reading and keep thinking.
And watching out for those judges out in the world.
Yeah, you never know who they might be.